So good morning everybody. This chapter 17 tackled about workforce focus. The learning objectives are: first, describe the evolution of workforce management. Second, describe a high-performance work culture. Third, discuss the principles of workforce engagement and motivation. 4. Explain how to design high-performance work systems. 5. Discuss how to assess workforce effectiveness, satisfaction, and engagement. Lastly, 6. Explain how to sustain high-performance work systems. Toyota Georgetown with nothing technology-wise that anyone else can't have. There's no secret Toyota quality machine out there. The quality machine is the workforce. The team members in the paint line, the suppliers, the engineers, everybody who has a hand in production here takes the attitude that we're making world-class vehicles. So, Deming emphasizes that no organization can survive without a good people who are improving. The human resource is the only one that competitors cannot copy, the only one that can synergize, that is, produce output, is greater than the sum of its parts. For them, the quality machine are the workforce. So, in the phrases above, a workplace becomes fun not because of the job, but because of the people you work with. So, of course, maganano jud ta mo trabaho not only for the job but also ang mga tao nga imong katrabaho. We will go deeper what would be a workforce. Workforce refers to everyone who is actively involved in accomplishing the work of an organization. In other words, the workforce are mga trabahador o mga trabahante sa usa ka company. Nga once active ang isa ka workforce sa company, makamit or ma-meet jud ang satisfaction sa customer, also the company. Encompasses paid employees as well as volunteers and contract employees, and includes team leaders, supervisors, and manager at all levels. Any companies refer to their employees as associates or partner to signify the importance that people have in driving business performance. Sa bisan unsa nga company gi-refer or gi-ilagyo nila ilang employee as their partner. Kauban kay importante sila sa company nga nagpadagan sa ilang businesses. Of course, if wala ang workforce, wala po ang business. Of course, if wala ang employee sad, dili ma-come up sa business performance. So, workforce satisfaction is strongly related to customer satisfaction and ultimately to business, because the workforce has a hand productions whom takes the attitudes. Like for example, sa manginasal, if ang trabahante sa kitchen is wala gitarang ang pag-grilled sa chicken or hilaw, of course the customer will not satisfied of it. So wala na meet ni workforce customer and satisfaction, kaya instead good feedback mahimong bad, which reflect to the manager and then maka-affect sa workforce kay siguro it will makasabaan sa manager. In other words, to satisfy customer, they must first satisfy the workforce. The workforce is an important component of a basic quality system. So, here are the workforce focus requirements in ISO 9000 to 2000. First, personnel performing work affecting product quality should be competent on the basis of appropriate education, training skills, and experience. Dapat hanas base sa angay education background. Like for example, college graduated, college graduate or TOR holder with training skills like example NSET 2, NSET 3. Also experience. Organization should determine the level of competence that employees need. So kinahanglan nga ang organization nga makabalo og unsa ang level sa kahibalo sa usa ka employee. Example, sa mga inasal, kompetensya muluto, pero imo siyang gibutan sa cashier area which dili competent. That's why i-critic na to ang employee if siya competent para ma-meet ang achievement. The standards, the work environment from the standpoint of providing buildings, workspace, utilities, equipment, and supporting service needed to achieve conformity to product requirements, as well as determining and managing sa work environment including the safety, ergonomics, and environmental factors. So here are the key workforce focus practices for quality in order to build a workforce environment conducive to high performance. These are the practices achieve outstanding results. So here are the key workforce focus practices for quality. First, understand the key factors that drive workforce engagement, satisfaction, and motivation. So we need to understand the key factors. Next is design and manage work and jobs to promote effective communication, cooperation, skill sharing, empowerment, innovation, and the ability to benefit from diverse ideas and thinking of employees and develop an organization culture conducive to high performance and motivation. Yes, of course, i-design jud ang managed work sa job para hanay ang flow sa services para masatisfy ang customer. 3. Make appropriate investment in development and learning. So, like for example, the investment. Example, katong sa Starbucks, as said ni sa atong teacher nga ang Starbucks company nga ang ilang employee is ilang gina-allowed or gina-policy nila ang employee to be one of their stockholder or shareholder. 4. Create an environment that ensures and improves workplace health, safety, and security, and support the workforce. So, we should the company should develop performance management. Example, sa Honda Desk, akong brother one of the mechanical, and then every month sila na incentives madawat. It depends on their sales. When he became regular, pag regular niya, gitugutan siya, makakuha appliances which makasales siya ay makalas siya or makarebate as he one of the employee ana nga company which is workforce satisfaction. Develop a performance management system based on compensation, recognition, reward, and incentives. So if masatisfy sa workforce, of course, ganado mo work para mo more sales or gain appear from improvement results not only sa skills but also the sales. Assess workforce and engagement and satisfaction and use results for improvement. Assess workforce capability and capacity needs and use the results capitalize and core competencies. So, dapat i-manage pod para dili pod ma-bankrupt ang company and satisfied pod ang workforce which is balanced as well as the customer. Lastly, manage career progression for the entire workforce and succession. So, overall, dapat the manager will be well manage the company para ang tanan or the workforce will be satisfied for the in terms of policies or mga principles nga ilahang ginahatag para dili pod dili ma bankrupt or dili pod ma stagnant ang company, kay dapat flow, dapat magkasinabot, dapat magkauyon, og unsa ang giingon sa head is maabot gyud sa trabahante nga well organized. Evolution of workforce management. So he is Frederick Winslow Taylor. He is the father of scientific management, born in 1856 in Germantown, Pennsylvania. Died on 1915. So his philosophy known as Taylorism. His system was the key force behind the explosive economic development of the 20th century. Taylor systems are improved productivity, change manufacturing work into a series of mundane and mindless tasks, promulgated adversarial relationships between labor and management, key force behind the explosive economic development of the 20th century, failed to exploit the knowledge and creativity of the workforce. So this system, workforce management, as we know that HRM, we in the future, we should adapt this following. Next is the workforce management, also been widely known as human resource management or HRM. So it is the function performed in the organization that facilitates the most effective use of people to achieve organizational and individual goals. So, as we know nga, HRM or human resource management is the one who critique their employee. Also, they facilitates the most effective use of people. So, sila may mag-giya unsay dapat buhatan sa employee para ma-overcome to nga ang kaning usa ka product nga dapat ma-satisfy tanan. So, in this exhibit, I will show you the next summarizes key issues of HR management and contrast differences between traditional and strategic HR. So this time, workforce management activities includes determining the organizational workforce needs. So of course, i-determine sa usa ka management ang needs sa workforce in order to like for example, dapat i-determine po nila nga dili siya capable aning area. So dapat i-determine nila pod ang unsa ila ang workforce needs. So assisting in design of work system. So in order, dapat gyud ang assisting is important kay for example, naka-new hired ta og isa ka employee kay qualified siya ang iyang skills, educational background, and also his or her experiences. So first duty dapat i-assess gyud sa manager para mahanay or makabalo siya nga asa siya nga area or asa dapat ang iyang kaning capable nga skills ma-assign. Recruiting, selecting, training, and development counseling, motivating, and rewarding employees. So, of course, HRM is the one who recruit or selecting, mo select, mo train, and mo develop counseling and motivate and rewarding employees. Like for example, karon nga day is taas og sales or month this the end of this month taas og sales ang usa ka company. Of course, the HR will be naiuban man gud kay kaning ilang i-celebrate ang ilahang high sales nga mahitabo. And other than that, kaning kan sila ilang i-celebrate ilitagan niya reward. That's the rewards of employees nga nag-celebrate sila kataas ang ilahang sale. So, acting is a liaison with unions and government organizations. So, dapat kaning the HR will be kaning mo kigilabutay bali mo kan siya mo involve siya sa tanan sa employee, handling other matters of employee well-being. So, handling other matters of well-being. Strategic human resource management. It concerned with the contribution HR strategies make the organization effectiveness and how these contributions are accomplished. So in exhibit 17.2, traditional HR versus strategic HR. So the key issues are as follow, and the contrast between the traditional HR and the strategic HR. Key issues is first, fundamental mindset. So, ang traditional HR, transactional ilahang ginabuhat, while the strategic, transformational, compliance, enforcement, orientation, and ang strategic, consultative. View of organization, micro and macro. Sa traditional micro, pero sa strategic macro. So, narrow skill application. Narrow lang. Not the same sa strategic nga broad skills application gyud. Educational and training. Education and training. Traditional human resources management or HR specialist. Limited business acumen. Dapat sa traditional education and training sa tradition sa HR specialist, pero sa strategic basic business competencies or HR education and training with emphasis on the following. So naka-organize na ang flow: organizational theory, organizational culture, organizational change, strategic management, and job design. So, diri na sa strategic HR, diri naka-involve ang job design sa usa ka businesses nga. Next is critical skills, organization and compliance. For the strategical thinking, planning, diagnosis and analysis, consultation, managing changes. So in terms of critical skills, ang strategic human resource is they have their strategic thinking, planning. Kung ma-fail ang plan A, the following plan B, plan C. Then also diagnosis and analysis, then consultation, managing change. Not the same sa traditional nga for our organization lang, then mga compliance lang. View of employees, heads, cost, people are exploitable resources for the traditional. Not the same sa strategic nga minds, assets, people are critical sources. So, ang view of employees sa traditional is their people are exploitable resources. Exploit lang nila. For the strategic, it is the employees, their minds, of course, minds, assets. So, employees are the assets of the customer. Of course, para ma-come up nila overall ang isa ka achievement. People are critical resources. So, of course, people are the critical resources kay og wala ang workforce, wala ang businesses kay walay mo operate, walay mo hand in production para maka come up lang og new product. So time frame for them time frame nila sa traditional is short term or immediate needs. So bali short term lang ilahang gina basis, not the same sa strategic nga mid to long term current and future needs. So gina predict nila ang future needs sa usa ka businesses ug unsa in the future ug unsa dapat ang like for example seasonal nga event. So ma-predict nila ang kantahay if November, so hapit naman November, kalag-kalag. So ma-time frame na nila nga kani kalag-kalag days halinon ang kandila. Mga inana. So, the process and outcome orientation. Sa traditional, primary concern for process control. So, gina-control nila ang process. Dili sa same sa kuan kaning strategic nga primary concern for results. So, they are primary kaning gina-concern gyud nila og unsay results sa ilahang product. Of course, kung dili ma-satisfy ang customer kay nag-evolve ang uban nimo nga kaning nag-evolve na ang imuhang mga kaning competitors, so dapat naay process innovation para ma-come up nimo ang usa ka product nga on sales. Risk, so low risk taking. So dili sa traditional low risk taking gid sila kay reliance on proven approaches man. None other than the strategic high risk taking sila kay experiment with new promising approaches man sila. Like for example, kay for the strategic, they experiment gid nila nga ang mga mag-experiment sila og new product for in the near future. It is the kaning needs gyud sa customers. Response to change, inflexible to change. So for the traditional, inflexible to change sila kay of course short term ang ilang ginagamit nang nag-process control sila. Then low risk taking pa jud, none other than sa strategic nga flexible to change kay of course mid to long term current and future needs sila sa ilang time frame. So maka-predict sila nga sa ilang plan A ma-failed sila kay wala na satisfy siguro ang customer. So na sila plan B, plan C nga dapat na sila plan A, plan B, plan C para flexible to change sila nga dili pud stagnant ang isa ka company. HR systems and practices. So routine, so the traditional routine, establish programs and system. Example, traditional training program. So in tradition, ang ilahang training nga ginabuhat. Nan sa other than sa strategic, adaptive, innovative programs and systems to fit future needs. Example, web-based just-in-time training. So, for example, sa kaning sa usa ka place, so tradition nila nga kaning the way kaning manamit is kaning na culture na nila ba nga kaning mo kaning magsaya lang ana, pero for the strategic kay adaptive sila. So bali kaning adaptive sila sa new trends sa mga sanina. Then innovative, for example karon also na ang crop top, off shoulder. So for in terms of programs and systems to fit future needs, so nagamit og kaning web based ang strategic in order to makita ang kaning adapt or makita nila ang usa ka customers needs and wants. Approach to system development, so reactive benchmarking, best practices, responding to stated needs. Ang traditional sa strategic, anticipatory forecasting, predicting needs, recognizing unstated needs. So the approach to system development, in order to come up the system development, ma-approach sa ka manager. So forecasting, it is predicting the needs. So i-predict nila sa strategic managers, i-predict nila ang needs and wants sa usa ka customer to by recognizing unstated needs. So bali, like for example, rainy season, so kaning umbrella, instead of maligya og tops, mga sexy tops, kaning mga crop tops nginaana, so gina predict nila nga this coming June or July ba ting ulan, so nag-produce na pud sila og new product nga umbrella. Or other than December, Christmas season, so instead sa kaning mga umbrella yung ginabaligya, so nag-change sila to kaning mga pagkaon. Primary areas of practice in tradition, transactions highly repetitive in nature. Example, recruitment, selection, training, compensation, labor relations. So in kaning strategic, transformations, change, innovation. Example, strategy, knowledge, management, culture, organization change, talent management, leadership development. So, sa traditional, ang primary areas of practice nila is transactional. So, highly repetitive. So, balik-balik lang. Like, for example, recruit, select, train, compensation, labor relations. Balik na sa recruit. For the strategic, nasa like transformations, change, innovation. So mo transform sila in change, then mo innovate. Like for example, strategy. So if na-apply ating new strategy, so imo siyang i-transform and change, innovate para ma-satisfy ang isa ka customer. Knowledge of management. Of course, the management should have a knowledge to manage. Kaya og walay knowledge to manage, stagnant ang usa ka business. Culture, organizational change, talent management. Of course, naapoy talent ang management nga the way sila mo, for example, mo approach sa customer, bali mag sales day. So dili ba ka kanang nabaka sila talent nga sige kaning sayot ani nga time ana para ma-convey ang usa ka customer. So of course importante ang leadership development. So ang leadership we know nga dili gyud dili ma-come up sa uban nga management ang usa ka leadership, kay ang uban is nagbase lamang kay, for example tungod lang anang kaning, for example is kaning sa usa ka company. So ang usa ka management kaning ginapili nila ang musuluda sila kana kaila o suod, dili sila mag-critic sa usa ka skills and experience nga kayang mabuhat or capable sa isa ka employee nga nag-apply, but they instead choosing those relatives kadto silang kasing-kasing. Then in that case kanang if manluod ang isa, manluod siya kay wala na halubilo or wala siya napansin, so ma-affect tanan ang flow, like for example the relations of employee by employee and employee to manager. So in this status in organization, if mo use ta sa traditional nga strategic lang, weak ang ato ang company or weak ang ato ang kaning mga pamaagi para ma-achieve na to ang high performance ato ang business. And unlike sa strategic HR or management nga strong ang ilahang kaning business or company nga gina-operate, kay dagan sila option, dagan sila great ideas, dagan sila og mga pamaagi how to come up nga the way nga dili overcome ang sales nila, ginaplanuhan nila how to kaning ma-overcome na nila nga trials. So high performance work culture. Performance refers to the extent to which an individual contributes to achieving the goals and objectives of an organization. So it is how you perform. Your work contributes in achieving the goals and objectives of an organization. So it is for the employees' work, not only for the employees but the performance of the management also. So high performance work approaches is systematically pursue ever higher levels of overall organization and human resource. Not only for the goals and objectives but the overall sa kinatibuk-an organization and human resource that pursuing ever higher levels. So high performance and workforce characterized by flexibility. So of course flexible nga kaning dari siya uyon or balid do ba siya kaning dapat. Second, innovation. Yes, innovation. Knowledge, of course, the knowledge. Skill sharing. So skill sharing bali kani siya capable ani nga kanang trabaho, and katong new adapt employee dili pa capable, so gina-share nimo ang imong kahibalo sa iya or ginatudlo nimo sa iya ang imong nahibaloan sa anak nga company, kay if ever ma-promote as a manager ka, so kabalo na siya sa imong ginabuhat anak nga area o mas ma-develop pa. Alignment with organizational directions. So in align gyud ang kuan kaning kahibalo kay lisod sad kaning og nga na dawi magbuhat og kaning mga payong lang. So ang isa gabuhat og masinina, so dapat alignment, customer focus. So mag-focus jud ang high performance workforce sa kuan customer focus. Like for example, the needs and wants of the customer nga dapat masatisfied sila, and rapid response to changing business needs and marketplace requirements. So rapid, pas-pas ang ilang response so to change the business needs and wants. So that are the 7 high performance workforce characterizing, because in high performance culture kay dapat nani ang 7 characterize kay para ma-aim, ma-cope up ang ever higher levels para pod kaning ikaw mo ang lead kaning company, mag-leading company sa usa ka place, kay para ang mga customer, mga ilang customer and needs and wants ma-achieve nimo sa usa ka customer. So diha ma-cope up ang imong gain or dako nga sales. Here are the 5 conditions of collaboration. So first, respect. So in order to in collaboration, dapat na ang respect, believing in the inherent worth of another person. So we should respect one another's worth. Kay ug dili ni ma-respect, possible ang usa is kaning, like for example, the manager gusto sa manager nga kani ang mahimo nga output. So when you respect, dapat imong kaning imo siyang come up nga inato pud ang design para dili pod malain ang manager. So second is values, the guiding principles and behaviors that embody who an organization and its people are expected to operate. So take it value when you work, dapat with love to operate and mag-generate sa product. So kana nga product gipahimo ni manager, so kay napugsan ka, mura siyang inuhon pagbuhat, dapat with love good, kay koan not only nga kaning gusto ka ma-promote, magpamaayo ka og buhat, but instead nga i-mindset sa imong hunahuna, i-mindset nimo nga this product nga made nimo as perfect, kay with love nimo siya ginabuhat. Third, purpose, the fundamental reason an organization exists. Every workforce and customer has a purpose. So gibuhat na nga product for a purpose, ma-avail ang customer kanay purpose. Like for example, the manager. So the manager kanang iya ning gipabuhat kay na siya purpose, na ay purpose ang manager to cope up the customer's needs and wants. So ikaw pud nga employee, kaning imo pud nang gibuhat or gimade nga product, kay instead kay new and kuan kaning gipabuhat sa imo ha, but instead nakay purpose nga dapat ma-satisfy sad ang needs and wants sa customer, nga kung abil siya ana ma-satisfied siya. Fourth is communication. Communication, often cited as one of the most important factors related to employee motivation. So of course, communication is the most important factors, kay og walay communication dili ma-accomplish ang dapat buhaton, still stagnant ang business nga gi-operate. Should cooperate one another para makuha ang high performance sa business. So of course, kantahay wala communication is very important, kay the communication of the manager to the employee is very important important kay if wala may communication, bali ang thinking, ang idea sa manager is new, and then ang imong idea is old, tas wala nimo gina-adapt kay tungod kay kanang naakay kahiubos sa imong manager. So dapat in fair gyud, dapat gyud ang manager and employee. Dapat ang manager maayo mo dala sa employee, og ang employee pod para dadon ka og maayo sa imong management, dapat pod ikaw musunod sa unsay gusto ipabuhat sa management para ma-come up na nga kaning achievement. 5 is trust. That management trust the workforce and vice versa is vital. So, og walay trust sa usag-usa, the manager and employee, kung walay trust sa usag-usa, ang business or the company nga ilang gi-operate is wala lang, pa-char lang, yun ana ang style, diba? So dapat na trust ang manager or management sa usa ka employee nga kaning ako ni siyang gi-hire kay tungod capable ang iyang training skills aning company, aning organization namo. So nag-trust ka sa isa ka employee nga iyaning ay capable siya aning trabaho, so imo siyang gi-assign ning anang area. So the employee pod og dapat na siya trust sa manager also nga yes, buhaton ako ni with love and care, nga kaya siyang mabuhat para ma-achieve sa business or sa usa ka company or organization ang kaning high performance para pod and overall naani ang respect, values, purpose, and communication and trust para not only sa employee and management ma-satisfy but also to satisfy the customers' needs. So the next is the principle of workforce engagement and motivation discussed by Miss Malolot.
So we have here principles of workforce engagement and motivation. High-performance workforce management practices are built on understanding the principles of workforce engagement and motivation. So we have here the workforce engagement. It refers to the extent of workforce commitment, both emotional and intellectual, to accomplishing the work, mission, and vision of the organization. So this is the workforce engagement. Sa usa ka organization, this is very important to trust your workers to accomplish those mission and visions in the certain organization. And we have also here the engagement, means that workers find personal meaning and motivation in their work. So in short, they love their work and they just enjoyed it because have a strong emotional bond to the organization is rare. We have different emotions and characters as well. And engagement is manifest in the Ming's concept of pride and joy in work that was reflected in his 14 points. Engagement means also that they know that their opinions and ideas have valued and often go beyond the immediate job responsibilities for the good of the organization. So, under the workforce engagement, the employees' engagement offers many advantages over traditional management practices. So employees are motivated through exciting work, responsibility, and recognition. Engagement also provides a powerful means of achieving the highest order individual needs of self-realization and fulfillment. So here are the engagement offers that many advantages over traditional management practices. It replaces the adversarial mentality with trust and cooperation, develops the skill and leadership capability of individuals, creating a sense of mission and fostering trust. The third one is increases employee morale and commitment to the organization. The next one is fosters creativity and innovation, the source of competitive advantage. And the next one is helps people understand quality principles and instills these principles into the corporate culture. And it also allows employees to solve problems at the source immediately. And the last one, it can improve quality and productivity. So when we say replaces the adversarial mentality, means that having an understanding of how an adversary thinks, and and to develop the skill and leadership capability of individuals, creating a sense of mission and fostering trust. It can be develops our skills and our leadership capability for those individuals. And we have also here the increases employee morale. So it means that proven to have a direct effect on productivity. And the next one is fosters creativity and innovation. It means that in order to foster a creative workplace environment, you have first to help spark creative thinking in your employees. We must give them a little help by encouraging the right mindset to take hold. And also it helps people understand the quality principles and instills. And also it can allow employees to solve the problems at the source immediately. And sa tuang pagsabot no, sabotabul na may siya, it can allow employees to solve the problems. And the last one is improves quality and productivity. So this can help to our organization because improving the quality and productivity can be a kanang hayag sa mata sa mga customers. In the Quality Spotlight Medrad, we have here the Great Places to Work, or GPTW. It is based on 20 years of research and measures 3 factors and 5 dimensions that define the best workplace. So Medrad uses the Great Places, or GPTW, survey used by Fortune magazine as the basis for understanding the key engagement factors in the company. So, these dimensions, credibility, respect, fairness, pride, and camaraderie, are shown in Exhibit 17.3. So, we have here the key engagement factors and related survey dimensions. So, the first one is the employees trust the people they work with. So, the credibility. So, credibility means the quality of being trusted and believed in. So, under the credibility, there are three. We should employees trust the people that they work in. Communications are open and accessible. Second one is competence in coordinating human and material resources. The third one is integrity in carrying out vision with consistency. So we have here also the respect. So respect means by being respectful, this should make your business a more attractive to work. So there are 3 to trust people that they work in: supporting professional development and showing appreciation, collaboration with employees on relevant decisions, and caring for employees as individuals with personal lives. And we have also here the fairness. Fairness means that it is an aspect of organizational justice with regards to both process and outcome impartiality. So we have here the equity, balance, treatment for all in the terms of reward, as what I've said, that they have the equality and also the impartiality, absence of favoritism in hiring and promotions, and lastly is the justice, this lack of discrimination and process for appeals. And number 2, employees have pride in what they do. So we have here the pride, the word pride. So it is increased sense of community and belonging. So under this pride, in personal job, individual contributions, in work produced by one's team and one's group, and also in the organization's products and standing in the community. So the third one is employees enjoy the people they work with. So this is camaraderie. So camaraderie means it is a mutual trust and friendship among people who spend a lot of time together. So they have ability to be oneself, socially friendly and welcoming atmosphere, and sense of family or team. A global benchmarking study of employee engagement conducted by Right Management identified the following on the top 10 drivers of workforce engagement. So we have 10 drivers. So the commitment to organizational values is the first one. So it is important to perform better and achieve their goals. And the second one is knowing that customers are satisfied with products and services. Like for example, we will actively ask customers for feedbacks and other some ideas or some strategies that we can know about their opinions about the products and our services. So the third one is belief that opinions count. So in these drivers, we should give them a count to their own perspective. And the fourth one is clearly understanding work expectations. So the employer knows what to expect from the employee, and the employee knows what to expect from the employer and the job itself. So the fifth one is understanding of how personal contributions help meet customer needs. So for example, this is where we see customers' needs like convenience, reliability, affordable price, and good services. So we have here also the sixth one, being recognized and recorded fairly. So being recognized and rewarded fairly, it should be equally recognized and it should be rewarded equally as well. And the seventh one is knowing that senior leaders value the workforce. So, for example, the ongoing coaching, the employee training, and the workforce development. And the eighth one is being treated equally with respect. So, this is very important to a organization that we must treated equally with respect. Okay, and the ninth one is being able to concentrate on the job and work process. So, concentrate to the respective work or job. And the last one is alignment of personal work objectives to work plan. This is very important because it should be organized and aligned when it comes to work objectives in the certain organization. So the next is employee involvement. So it is refers to any activity by which employees participate in work-related decisions and improvement activities with the objectives of tapping and creative energies of all employees, improving their motivation. These also approaches can range from simple sharing of information and of providing input on work-related issues and making suggestions to self-directed responsibilities such as setting goals, making business decisions, and solving problems, often in cross-functional teams. So this means that, for example, formal quality of work-life programs, flatter organizational structures, labor management problem, and solving efforts. These examples are under in employee involvement. Okay. So the next one here is the employee suggestion. We have also here the employee suggestion system. So it is a management tool for the submission, evaluation, and implementation of an employee's ideas to save cost, increase quality, or improve other elements of work such as safety. So a variety of efforts and also utilizing inputs from their employees are under of employee suggestion system. Suggestion systems are often tied to incentives. Wainwright Industries developed a unique and effective approach that has been benchmarked extensively. Suggestion programs were viewed as neither systematic nor continuous and not woven into the fabric of daily operations. So their approach was designed to overcome these shortcomings in the following ways. So we have here focusing employees and small incremental improvements within their own areas of responsibility and control. The second one is recognizing all employees for their level of participation regardless of the value of the improvement. The third one is scaling team-based improvement efforts in a way that minimizes downtime and provides people with the tools and techniques to produce successful outcomes. The last one is positioning supervisors as the catalyst for cultural change through a coaching and support role in the employee involvement and improvement process. So the process contains two main components. So we have here individual implemented improvements and team-based system improvements. This can be submitting suggestions for someone else to approve and implement. Employees are provided with training and given the responsibility to take the initiative to make improvements on their own or without prior approval within the scope of their man-job responsibilities. So the next one is motivation. So Saul W. Gellerman defined motivation as the art of creating conditions that allow every one of us, warts and all, to get his work done at his own peak level of efficiency. And it is also individual's response to a felt need. So, motivation, this can be initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. And also motivation is in the organization, employee must be encouraged or the workers must be encouraged to work or to do their specific jobs. And also, like for example, the motivation forms of incentives and bonuses. And also we have here the Hertzberg theory. Hertzberg's two-factor theory describes two categories of factors in his model called motivation and maintenance factors. So we have here the maintenance factors are conditions that employees have come to expect, while the motivational factors do motivate people to be more committed to and satisfied with their work. Workers in a situation with these conditions will not be dissatisfied, but maintenance factors generally do not provide any motivation to work harder. And theories and models are often classified according to common themes. James L. Bowditch and Anthony F. Bono categorized motivation theories as content, process, and environmentally based theories. So in the behavioral sciences as well in the pure science, the originator of theory is becoming more and more difficult to determine because many researchers' ideas often overlap. Thus, the information in Exhibit 17.4, a classification of motivation theories, is merely suggestive of one of more names that have been associated with the development of the theory. So motivation theories can be applied to support high performance in any organization. Like for example, Herbert's theory suggests that ignoring maintenance factors such as supervision, working condition, salary, peer relations, and status and security will produce dissatisfaction and negatively impact the work environment. And while enhancing the motivating factors will produce a positive effect, it can be understanding and applying the theories should result in more effective designs of work systems and the work environment. So we have here the classification of motivation theories. The motivation theory, pioneer and developer, and the type of theory. So we have here the content theories, hierarchy needs, motivational and maintenance, theory XY, ACH, and the pioneers and developers are the Abraham Maslow, Douglas MacGregor, Frederick Herbert, David McClellan. And the type of theory they had is need and satisfaction, managerial expectation, and acquired need. And we have also here the process theories. So there are preference expectancy, contingency, goal setting, path goal theory of leadership. And the pioneers and developers are Victor H. Broom, Porter and Lawler, Edward Locke, and Robert J. House. And their type of theory are expectancy reward, go, and go. So we have here last the environmentally based. So theories. We have here operant conditioning, equity, social learning, self-efficacy. And the pioneers are B.F. Skinner, J. Stacy Adams, A. Bandura Snyder, and Williams. And the type of their theory is that reinforcement, equity, and social learning or self-efficacy. We have here approaches to motivation in recent years. The workplace has been the center of constant and chaotic change that has spawned new motivational challenges, as Tears or it all noted. So we have here companies are both downsizing and expanding, often at the same time in different divisions, levels of hierarchy. And the workforce is characterized by increased diversity with highly divergent needs and demands. We have also here the information technology has frequently changed both the manner and location of work activities, and new organizational forms such as those found in e-commerce are now commonplace. And we have also here the teams are redefining the notion of hierarchy as well as traditional power distributions. And we have here also the use of contingent workers is on the rise. Managing knowledge workers continues to perplex experienced managers across divergent industries. And the last one is the globalization and the challenges of managing across borders are now the norm instead of exception. So it is apparent that the chaotic content, process, and environment of motivation will make new demands on both workers and leaders or managers. So the next one is designing high-performance work systems. It should be provided individuals with both an intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to achieve quality and operational performance objectives. Leading companies view the design of work systems in a fashion similar to the design of their key products and process. Like for example, Cargill Kitchen Solutions, formerly Sunny Fresh Foods or CKS, designs its work system to emphasize safety, quality, compensation, and recognition and employee development in support of individual development and CKS long-term goals. And it is also that many of its work systems are unique to the industry. Like for example, ramped-in schedule in which new employees are allowed to work for only a specified number of hours to learn their jobs and minimize the potential in repetitive stress injuries, and a rotation system by which employees rotate to another workstation every 20 minutes. So this format ensures that workers can understand and respond to product quality issues at any stage of the process and understand their internal customers. And it is also fights boredom, reduces repetitive stress injuries, and promotes learning. And in addition, CKS uses also a buddy system in which new employees are matched with high-performing experienced employees who serve as a role models for operational excellence and behavioral competencies. So the next one is the work and job design. So work design refers to how employees are organized in formal and informal units. So work design is a content and organization of one's work or tasks, activities, relationships, and responsibilities. While the job design refers to establishing employees' roles and responsibilities and the systems and procedures. So, an integrating theory that helps us understand how job design impacts motivation or satisfaction or organizational effectiveness was proposed by Hackman and Oldham. So, their model has been validated in numerous organizational settings. So these core job design characteristics are, there are 5 characteristics. The first one is the task significance, task identity, skill variety, and autonomy, and feedback from the job. So the first one is task significance. It is a degree to which the job gives the participants that feeling that they have a substantial impact on the organization of the world. Like for example, solving a customer's problem rather than simply filing papers. The second one is task identity. So, task identity is the degree of which the worker can perceive the task as a whole identifiable piece of work from start to finish. Like for example, building an entire component rather than performing a small repetitive task. Third one is skill variety. It is the degree to which the job requires the worker to use a variety of skills and talents, like for example, physical skills in machining a part, and mental skills in using a computer to track quality measurements. The fourth one is autonomy. It is the degree to which the task permits freedom, independence, and personal control to be exercised over the work, like for example, being able to stop a production line to solve a problem. And the fifth one is feedback from the job. It is the degree to which clear, timely information about the effectiveness of performance of the individual is available, not only from supervisors but also from measurements that the worker might take directly. So high levels of skill variety, task identity, and task significance create a psychological state of experience meaningfulness. The psychological need of workers to have a feeling that their work is significant contribution to their organization and society. High autonomy drives the psychological state of experience responsibility, the need of workers to be accountable for the quality and quantity of work produced. And finally, feedback from the job creates the psychological state, knowledge of results, the need of workers to know how their work is evaluated and the results of their evaluation. Together, these psychological states drive key work outcomes, employee motivation, growth, satisfaction, overall job satisfaction, and work effectiveness. Several common approaches to work design, job enlargement, job rotation, and job enrichment are supported by this model. IBM was apparently the first user of job enlargement, which workers' jobs were expanded to include several tasks rather than one single or level task. So the second one is the job rotation. It is a technique by which individual workers learn several tasks by rotating from one to another. And the third one is job enrichment. It entails vertical job loading in which workers are given more authority, responsibility, and autonomy rather than simple more or different work to do. So the next one is empowerment. This giving people authority to make decisions based on what they feel is right, to have control over their work, to take risks and learn mistakes, and to promote change. And it also requires, as the management of Wainwright Industries once said, a sincere belief and trust in people. So, empowerment employees are given information, resources, and opportunity at the same time as being held responsible for their job outcomes. The need to empower the entire workforce in order for quality to succeed has long been recognized. Horan wrote that ideally quality control should be delegated to workforce to the maximum extent possible. So, you have here the 5 of Deming's 14 points relate directly to the notion of empowerment. We have point 6, point 7, point 8, point 10, and point 13. So, in point 6, institute training. In point 7, teach and institute leadership. And in point 8 is drive out fear, create trust, create a climate for innovation. And point 10 is eliminate exhortations for the workforce. And lastly, the point 13 is encourage education and self-improvement for everyone. So this point suggests that managers need to involve workers more directly in decision making process and thus giving them the security and confidence to make decisions and providing them with the necessary tools and training. Empowerment can benefit customers who buy the organization's products and services. For instance, empowered employees can often reduce bureaucratic red tape that customers encounter, such as seeking a supervisor's signature, which make customers' transactions speedier and more pleasant. Empowered employees must have the wisdom to know what to do and when to do it, the motivation to do it, and the right tools to accomplish the task. These requirements may mean significant changes in work system, specifically the following. So, wala na ko siya nabutang diri sa PowerPoint and naa siya diri sa PDF. So, employees be provided education, resources, and encouragement. Policies and procedures be examined for needless restrictions on the ability of employees to serve customers. And third one is an atmosphere of trust be fostered rather than resentment and punishment for the failure. Information be shared freely rather than closely guarded as a source of control and power. Workers feel their efforts are desired and needed for the success of the organization. This is very important. And managers be given the required support and training to adopt hands-off leadership style. And lastly, employees be trained in the amount of latitude they are allowed to take, formulating decision rules and providing role-playing scenarios are excellent ways of teaching employees. Empowerment also means that leaders and managers must relinquish some of the power that they previously held. So, as David Gisler suggests that what traditionally passes for empowerment does not allow employees to use their skills and talents to maximum. And also he promotes the concept of the self-determination. It is an extension of empowerment and argues that individual and organizational effectiveness result when employees are allowed to achieve their own unique levels of excellence, and the personal power arises when employees are certain that their organization is free of barriers. They are valued also for what they contribute, and they are allowed to express themselves. So let's have here teamwork, one of the most significant organizational changes that has resulted from total quality, and it is also breaks down barriers among individuals, departments, and the line and staff functions. So teamwork is generally understood as willingness of a group of people to work together to achieve a common aim. For example, we often use the phrase, he or she is a good team player. This means someone has the interest of the team at heart, working the good for the team. Teams also help organizations to capitalize on diverse ideas, cultures, and thinking of employees. Teams often perform a variety of problem-solving activities such as determining customer needs, developing a flowchart to study a process, brainstorming to discover opportunities for improvement, selecting projects, recommending corrective actions, and tracking the effectiveness of solutions. Many types of teams exist in different companies and industries. We have here the first management teams. These the teams consisting mainly of managers from various functions such as sales and production that coordinate work among teams. The second one is natural work teams. It is the teams organized to perform entire jobs rather than specialized assembly line type work. The third one is self-managed teams or SMTS. Specially empowered work team defined as a highly trained group of employees from 6 to 18 on average, fully responsible for turning out well-defined segment of finished work, and also known as a self-directed for teams. So the fourth one is the virtual teams, in which members communicate by computer, take turns as leaders, and jump in out as necessary. These types of teams use a combination of cloud computing, email, video conferencing, and shared computer screen technologies to get their jobs done. And the fifth one is quality circles. is the teams of workers and supervisors that meet regularly to address work-related problems involving quality and productivity. And the sixth one is problem-solving teams, whose members gather to solve a specific problem and then disband. The difference between this and quality circles is that quality circles usually remain in existence for a much longer period of time. The last one is the project teams, which a specific mission to develop something new or to accomplish a complex task. Project teams have been in use since World War II and probably before that. However, project teams recently gained as a new measure of importance and respect in the context of Six Sigma. Management teams, natural work teams, self-management teams, and virtual teams typically work on routine business activities, managing an organization, building a product, or designing an electronic system, and are integral part of how work is organized and designed. Quality circles, problem-solving teams, and project teams, on the other hand, work more on ad hoc basis to address specific tasks or issues, often relating to quality improvement. Also, natural work teams, self-managed teams, and quality circles typically are intra-organizational. That is, members usually come from the same department or function. Management teams, problem-solving teams, virtual teams, and project teams are usually cross-functional. They work on a specific task and process that across boundaries of several different departments regardless of their organizational home. Team leaders and team members need a variety of skills. Team leaders require expertise in conflict management and resolution, team management, leadership skills, decision-making, communication, negotiation, cross-cultural training. Conflict management involves dealing proactively with disagreements that may occur when two or more technical experts get together. Team management involves ensuring the project members remain focused on the goals, time frame, and cost of their part of the project. Leadership skills require that the project leader guide the work of the team, including team development while managing upward to the project champion and outward to other project teams and team leader. Decision-making requires that good decisions be made in a timely fashion. Communication channels must be established and maintained throughout the course of the project, and the negotiation is needed in order to secure the resources required for successful project completion. And lastly is the cross-cultural training. Involves team members of other nationalities, or it may simply involve people from different functional areas with divergent points of view. In this case, it is extremely important for team members to be able to listen and learn about different perspectives on shared project goals from team and non-team people who may have widely differing thoughts about issues under consideration. So we have also here the soft skills, those that involve people such as project management and team facilitation. And this is difficult to teach and to learn. And team members need skills to participate effectively in it. The things and ability to reach agreement with others. Some rules for effective meetings include, so these are, use agendas, have a facilitator, take minutes, draft the next agenda, evaluate the meeting, adhere to the 100-mile rule. Reaching agreement or consensus among team members is often accomplished using the nominal group technique or NGT, developed to provide a way to prioritize and focus on important project objectives in the project definition stage. One of the major advantages of the technique is that it balances the power of each individual involved in the decision process. So they have the key steps in process include the following. So the first one is request that all participants, usually 5 to 10 persons, write or say which problem or issue that they feel is more important. The second one is record all problems or issues. Third one is develop a master list of problems or issues. The fourth one is generate and distribute to each participant a form that numbers the problems or issues in no particular order. And the fifth one is request that each participant rank the top 5 problems or issues by assigning 5 points to their most important perceived problem and 1 point to the least important of their top 5. And the sixth is tally the results by adding the points for each problem or issue. The seventh, the problem or issue with the highest number is the most important one for the team as a whole. And the last one is the discussion the results and generates a final rank list for process improvement action planning. So, this approach provides a more democratic way of making decisions and helps individuals to feel that they have contributed to the process. Teams go through a fairly predictable cycle of formation and growth, regardless of their charge and goals. The key stages of team's life cycle are called forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Forming takes place when the team is introduced, meets together, and explore issues for their new assignment. While the storming occurs when team members disagree on team rules and challenge the way that the team will function. In the third stage, which is the norming, it can take place when the issues of the previous stage have been worked out and the team members agree on rules, ground rules, and acceptable behavior when doing the work of the team. And the fourth stage is the performing. The characteristics, the productive phase of the life cycle when team members cooperate to solve problems and complete the goals of their assigned work. In adjourning phase, the team wraps up the project satisfactorily, completes its goals, and prepares to disband or move on to another project. So we have here the case stages. We have here the items provide some guidance during the forming stage and can mitigate issues that might lead to storming. So let's have here the first one, clarity in team goals. We have second one, an improvement plan. Third one is clearly defined rules. The fourth one is clear communication. The fifth one, beneficial teams behaviors. The sixth one, well-defined decision procedures. Seventh, the balanced participation. Eighth, established ground rules. Ninth, awareness of group process. And the last one is use of scientific approach. So the first one is clarity in team goals. As a sound basis, a team agrees on a mission or purpose and goals. The second one is an improvement plan. It is a plan guides the team in determining schedules and mileposts by helping the team decide what advice, assistance, training, materials, and other resources it may need. The third one is clearly defined rules. So, all members here must understand their duties and know who is responsible for what issues and tasks. The fourth one is the clear communication. So, the team members also should speak with clarity, listen actively, and share information. And the fifth one is beneficial team behaviors. The teams should encourage members to use effective skills and practices to facilitate discussions and meetings or other gatherings. And the sixth one is well-defined decision procedures. So the teams here should use data as the basis for the decisions and learn to reach consensus on important issues. While the seventh is balanced participation. So everyone here should participate, contribute their talents, and share commitment to the team's success. So this is very important. And the eighth one is establish ground rules. So the group outlines here acceptable and acceptable behaviors. And ninth is awareness of group process. So the team members should exhibit sensitivity to nonverbal communication, understand group dynamics, and work on group process issues. And the last one is the use of scientific approach with structured problem-solving processes. Teams can more easily find root causes of problems, which is very important in the organization. So we have here the workplace environment. So employees are key stakeholders of any organization. Their health and safety and overall well-being are important factors in the environment. So workplace environment, should we say, it is the setting or social features and physical conditions in which you perform your job. Like for example, as we learn more about ergonomic-related disorders such as carpal tunnel syndrome and other repetitive stress injuries, employers have an even greater responsibility to incorporate health and safety factors into human resource plans. So, the next one is the workforce learning and development. So, the training can be one of the largest costs in the organization, and it is also a strong workforce development system is a vital to high performance work system. So workforce learning and development, it is also a systematic process to enhance an employee's skills, knowledge, and competency, resulting in better performance in a work setting. Training related to quality generally includes quality awareness, leadership, project management, communications, teamwork, problem solving, interpreting and using data, meeting customer requirements, process analysis, process simplification, waste reduction, cycle time reduction, error proofing, and other issues that affect employee effectiveness, efficiency, and safety. Workforce development approaches vary by company and are delivered in a variety of ways, including on-the-job or traditional classroom environments. In some, managers train their workers directly in a top-down fashion, beginning with the CEO. So let's move on to compensation and recognition. It is referred to all aspects of pay and reward, including promotions, bonuses, and recognition, either monetary and non-monetary, individual and group. And compensation and recognition where people are acknowledged for their performance in intrinsic or extrinsic ways, where there is appreciation of employees' efforts in a fair and timely manner. So compensation also, it is the design of interesting works and jobs, and empowerment, teamwork, and a great work environment can provide intrinsic motivation, but invariably the question, what is it? What's in it for me? Also ultimately gets asked that the organizations need to have effective compensation and recognition approaches. So we have here the recognition and rewards. So let's start from give both individuals and team awards. So, for example, such as Employee of the Year, Year of Service Awards, Employee Leadership Awards, and etc. So the second one is tie rewards to measurable performance. So it is the entire company, like they taken to a trip like Disney World or Hong Kong or wherever they like. And the third one is involve everyone. So recognition programs should be available to everyone in the organization, including both frontline employees and senior management, and employees should participate in their design. So the next is drive behaviors that support organizational values and high performance. So leading companies recognize and reward behavior, not just results. So the next one is publicizing extensively. So many companies recognize employees through newsletters, certificates, and pins, special breakfast or luncheons, and annual events such as competitions. So making this recognition public reinforces its significance, and having top managers preside in giving recognition sends an important message that they really understand and appreciate employees' efforts. So the last one is making recognition fun. Well, Fargo Bank gives employees a choice of unusual rewards like a menu item named after you in the company cafeteria, or the chairman or president does your job for a day while you train and supervise. A dentist in Oakland, CA, instead of just giving a cash bonus to his staff, closed down his office and took them to a shopping mall. So that is the recognition and rewards that can be a powerful to motivate to your employees. So the next one is performance management. It is a corporate management tool that helps managers monitor and evaluate employees' work. So it is also a goal to create an environment where people can perform to the best of their abilities and produce the highest quality work most efficiently and effectively. So let's have here also the performance appraisal. It is a process for subjectively evaluating the quality of an employee's work. So performance appraisal is an exceedingly difficult activity. Organizations typically use performance appraisals to provide feedback to employees and also who can recognize and build on their strengths and work on their weaknesses. For example, opportunities for improvement. So it can determine training needs, allocate compensation and rewards, identify individuals to promote, assess the pool of talent across the organization, and identify the best and worst performers.
The assessing workforce effectiveness, satisfaction, and engagement. So this explains the important to determine how work systems are performing and contributing to an organization's strategic objectives, and also to provide a foundation for improvement. Both outcome and process measures provide data by which to assess workforce effectiveness. So workforce effectiveness, it is a series of strategic business decisions that helps an organization focus and improve their workforce. So daghan nga company ang implement ning kani nga strategy by monitoring their employee activities and then deciding kung unsa nga role and responsibilities should be assigned to the employee or employees basis sa ilahang capability and skills. This also ensures high employee productivity, which means organization has a better chance of achieving its goals. It is important also metric for managing and handling a team. Yes, it is very important kung giunsa nimo pagdala ang imong employee or ang usa ka team sa imong company to help them achieve their full potential. Of course, there is any opportunity manggod kay naman ay kanang tawag ganing there's a opportunity na mo-full potential pa yun ang ilahang skills kay of course if na ay mga assessment of course imo ipadala ang imong employee which is capable ang iyang skill ana nga assessment, and then ang iyang skill is mo better pa gyud. This metric helps organizations keep a track of how productive their employees are. So according to my research, to improve workforce effectiveness, there are 4 tips. Managers need to delegate. Second, feedback is essential. Of course, the feedback autonomy keep high morale. Outcome measures might include hard. It measures such as number, teams, rate, growth, percentage of employees involved. So it is hard. In soft, measures such as perceptions of teamwork and management effectiveness, engagement, satisfaction, and empowerment. So under TASA or the company under sa soft, if it is they implement this assessing workforce effectiveness, satisfaction, and engagement. Typically, process measures include the number of suggestions that employees make, the number of participants in project teams, and participation in educational programs. Yes, that's what I've said earlier. Na ang process measures sa usa ka employee is they are the number of suggestions Then the number of participants in project teams. Of course, the education programs. Team process effectiveness. Assess by tracking the average time it takes to complete and process improvement project. So an organization should also look for the indicators of performance, such as their improvement in team selection and planning processes, frequency of use of quality improvement tools sa imuhang employee. Formal survey, the most common approach to assess worker perception and satisfaction. Yes, it is the kaning common good approach sa usa ka manager ang usa ka formal survey para mahibal-an niya ang usa ka worker or his or her employee nga ang ilang mga perceptions or ever ba na satisfy o wala. Questions in typically surveys such as the following. So kasagaran nga mga typical survey questions kaning nga 8. First, basic categories of satisfaction with quality of work life. Second, teamwork. So, of course, na teamwork ang management and employee or vice versa para ma-cop up ang goal, achievement or improvement sa usa ka company. Communications, as what I have said, according sa 5 collaboration, yes, it is important para mas ma-develop pa ang skill sa imong employee o para ma-achieve ang improvement sa company. Opportunities and trainings, example, og naay workshop, dapat i-involve ng imong employee para mas ma-develop pa ang iyang skill also. Ma-develop ang iyang skills, the more pa manggod, the more siya ma-appeal sa or maka-attend sa assessment nga related pod sa inyong business is the more ang iyang potential and critical thinking about sa mga predicting or forecasting nga mahitabo sa inyong company. Facilities, leadership, of course, leadership. If good leadership ang imuhang management, ang flow po sa imuhang employee is good in terms. Compensation, of course, there are compensation and benefits, they are also the same. Benefits sa usa ka kaning employee nga masatisfy na ang satisfaction sa iyaha and the company. So in exhibit 17.10, employee quality survey. So makita ninyo there ang from Marshall Industry ni nga examples employee quality survey. Makita niyo ang management support, total quality system, organizational effectiveness, training, job satisfaction, and moral involvement. So diha na bilong ang mga kaning diri sa management support, dira na involve ang kaning unsa kapagdala sa imuhang management, kaning maayo ba sila sa imuha, kaning concern ba siya sa imuhang quality of work, the way it appreciate manggod sa kanang product na hand-in product nga nabuhat sa imong employer, the more pud nimo siya nga the more ma-appreciate, the more kaning maganado ang tao or the employee. So the total quality system, so kaning diri sad na nabilong ang unsa ang kaning unsa ang ilahang pamaagi o sa ilang flow sa system, if in good terms ba sa imuha as kaning sa imuhang kaning as an employee na satisfied ba ka, The next is organizational effectiveness. Kanang na-enjoy ba na nimo na nga ground or organization, imo habang mga fellow workers kay kuan kanang they are have high kuan man high level sa imong enthusiasm about sa din ikaw kaning as example as you are a newly hired, so share they are sharing skills para pod ikaw in the near future mahimo pud kag high top pa sa as usa ka employee. Of course nasa gay kaning full potential ana nga skills. Training, so diri pod sa training kaning kuan naaba sila kanang assessment ng mga training, gitagaan ba kanila, gipaapil ba kanila, yan nga bapaagi. Job satisfaction and morale. So job satisfaction, of course, og na-satisfy ba ka sa imuhang trabaho as employee, na-satisfy ba ka sa imuhang teammates, sa imong teamwork, workers nga kaning in good terms ba mo, in collaboration ba mo, and involvement. So involvement, of course, as what Malolot said nga kaan, if worker ka, if it involved ka ana nga company, so what do you do nga maglingkod-lingkod lang, then maka-cope up ka og kaning maka-cope up ka og new product, high quality product. If maglingkod-lingkod lang, sleepwalking lang, of course, if you are involved in that company, dapat nga mo hand in ka, mo trabaho ka, paghaguan nimo, if what is your kaning ideas, skills, dapat nga imuhang i-endorse anang company nga aha ka devoted ana or aha ka na belong nga company para masatisfy ka as a employee, your management also, of course, the customer satisfaction. So, measuring workforce engagement. Workforce engagement, labot or apila ka sa organization. So, question 12 or Q12, the most well-known instrument was developed and it is implemented by the Gallup organization. It consists of 12 statements that Gallup found as those that best form the foundation of strong feelings of engagement. It is registered trademark of that Gallup organization. So this workforce engagement or the question 12, they derive innovation, of course, and move the organization forward. So this instrument will help to innovate the organization forward. They are sleepwalking through their day. They are putting in time. So engagement index has 3 categories. So first is engaged employees who work with passion and feel profound connection to their company. So as well as I have said earlier nga, engagement. So if labot ka or apil na ka na organization or kaning membro nakasa usa ka organization, yes, if you have a passion nga mo trabaho or nakakay good connection, then you are feeling freely or givingly your time and effort sa imong company, so you are involved sa engaged employees. So these engaged employees, they derive innovation and move the organization forward. Next is not engaged employees who are essentially checked out. So they are the sleepwalking through their work day. They are putting in time but not enough energy or passion into their work. So, yes, kani sila kay kanan ng mga employee nga moral relax lang bitaw ayo as long as sige duty ko, and then walay ginabuhat lingkod ra parang moral bitaw lamya na silang work, wala sila goal in life nga makamit na nga ana new high product, high quality para pod makatabang sa company, but instead they do kaning ana lang palipas oras lang sa ilaha. So they are not engaged. So di sila matawag na not engaged employees. Third is actively disengaged employees who aren't just unhappy at work. So they are busy acting out their unhappiness every day. These workers undermine what their engaged coworkers are accomplish. So bali, these actively disengaged employees is paano sila mga dili happy sa ilahang work. Bali napugos lang bitaw. Yes, napugos lang. Ana nga term. So sustaining high performance work systems. Organization must take a long-term view of its work system and take the necessary steps to ensure that high performance is sustained. So, in sustaining a high performance, yes, of course, dapat long-term view ang ilahang work of system para if ever ma-failed ani nga plan, yes, there's a necessary steps which is the plan B nga ma-ensure gyud ang masustain gyud ang high performance. Workforce capability refers to an organization ability to accomplish its work processes through the knowledge, skills, abilities, and competencies of its people. So example, capability may include the ability to build and sustain relationships with customers, also to innovate and transition to new technologies, to develop new products, series, and work processes. So, workforce mo ang capability sa usa ka employee nga capable siya ana nga trabaho. Capable siya ana nga may siya hand in og tao ay customers. So that is the workforce capability. Workforce capacity refers to an organization ability to ensure sufficient staffing levels to accomplish its work processes and successfully deliver products and services to customers. So, example, including the ability to meet seasonal or vanillin demand levels. So, the workforce capacity is kaning kuan. For example, seasonal or demand levels karong November kanang kalag-kalag days. So para satisfy ang usa ka customer, dapat kaning yan seasonal ug ting kalag-kalag, so dapat kaning kandila is more demand man ana nga level. So dapat kandila dili kay mga sanina ra gihapon ngana. So these workforce capability and workforce capacity, these are not should consider only current needs but also it is a future. Yes, it is a future requirements based on strategic objectives and action plans. So of course, for example, if ang isa ka employee na capability nga maayo ana mo coop up ana nga seasonal levels, so there is more action plans and strategic moves para ma-achieve ang improvement. Next is workforce planning and assessment tools, a detailed staffing analysis for all departments supporting patient care, human resource action plans. So there are meeting and exceeding customer expectations. Begin with Hiring the right people whose skills and attitudes will support and enhance organization objectives. So of course, the HR will hire those people nga na related or have skills and good attitudes para makasupport siya sa usa ka organizations objectives ug ma-enhance pa morally. B. Must identify what skills and competencies they need. So of course, HR will critique nga if capable ba siya or ang iyang skill and competencies are kaning mamit ba sa gipangita sa isa ka HR. Lisod pod og nangita ang HR og maayo muluto niya mag-hire siya og maayo mo kuan, maayo mo hand in og customer. So dili siya pwede, dapat in the need good. C. Identify job candidates based on the skills and competencies during the hiring process. So i-identify gyud nila base sa ilahang skills in kantahay na ay job hiring ana sa ka place. So ang ilang yung ginapangitaan na kanang perfectly kanang ilang skills sa employee and competencies sa ilahang sa ka company. So in Exhibit 1711 shows the key competencies they expect in their employees. For example, so it is from Redrad example. So diha ang performance development, makita ang high performance orientation, adaptability, sound judgment, detail orientation, planning, organization, communication, written and verbal. Personally, kay of course communication kay literal or written, sulat. Verbally, if ever na ay mag order sa imuha nga amang in person, so makasabot ra ka in verbally communication. Motivation, empowerment, collaboration, customer focus, values driven, respect for others, integrity. Of course, it is important nga na ay moral value ang imong isa ka employee kay dobe og kaning ang mag-order is high temper kaayo, then kadyo pila pagi ka minute, 1 minute bagay gatagad, grabe na, or kaning wala na entertain kay tungod kay daghan og busy, ay daghan kay og customer, so mabisi ka, then ang katong second daambot kay haras na kaayo kay order is order lang gyud ayon. So dapat ang isa ka employee is asay kaning bitong na asay kaning ang sa nga term kaning magpaubos lang sa kagalingon bitaw kaning magkanang tunlon lang mga or dili pag as in if ever nga matulon pa ang ilang ang kuan pride, so tunlon lang gyud para walay samok mahitabo. Building partnership, strategic vision and project management. The two additional assessments are it is the kaning kuan pre-employment screening tool. The second, use advanced technology to predict job suitability. So in assessing in pre-employment screening, it is assessing the attitudes of job candidates regarding integrity, responsibility, and work ethic. And second, use advanced technology to predict job suitability. Watches people with the job for which they are applying. So dapat mag-uses pod og advanced technology to predict the sustainability. So and so an important part of the workforce capability and capacity planning for long-term sustainability is succession planning for leadership and in management position. So these are important workforce succession is for the long-term sustainability and para ma-come up ang objectives and improvements sa usa ka company. So that's all. Thank you for listening and God bless.